So with that, what are we announcing? As Joel mentioned, we have the Mersive Collaboration Suite. It's 3 cloud managed, powerful products, all designed to fit every space and circumstance that you might find in your organization. It's not intended to be a one-size-fits-all solution. We know that there are a lot of resumercial developments going on where, it's a much more casual atmosphere, huddle spaces, things like that. That has a very different need than an auditorium and a higher education installation. And so we wanted to make sure that we listened to the market. We listened to our existing customers and looked at where the markets are heading. And so we've come up with these 3 powerful products: Smart, Essentials, and Pro. And every one of them is a software first approach. The idea behind that is to make it flexible and extensible over time so that we can deliver more value faster and give you greater ROI at the end of the day. And as Joel mentioned at the top, it's a consistent user experience across all environments. So whether you're in that small huddled room or that big auditorium, if you're walking in to immersive enabled space, you know how to use it from the moment you see that screen. So what does that look like? Solutions for every space and every budget. Users are at the center. And when we say users, if you think about a collaboration company like us, we have multiple users that we have to think about and be intentional about. Every feature that we develop, design, every user story we write, we have to think about our resellers, system integrators, anybody who's touching the deployment. We need to think about the people buying it. How can we make it a more effortless experience that fits into the types of budget constraints people are under these days? We have to think about those guests coming in off the street to use a space that they've never been in before and feel confident from the moment that they, open their laptop and begin their pitch or their presentation. So things that we can do to keep the user at the center of every decision that we're making from a feature perspective. Then building in agility for the future, things like the cloud-based management, dynamic content routing, which is really an exciting thing that's coming down the line for the platform. And then developing practical AI applications. I mentioned in an interview recently that, I think we're going to hear a lot about AI at InfoComm next week, right? But it's one thing to talk about AI. It's another thing about using it with intention and using it in ways that serve our users' goals. So what that looks like is really important to us. And then finally, full stack protection. And I'll get into what that means a little bit later. But it's not so much that this is a next generation, although it is. We talk about Gen 4, because we innovated this space over a decade ago, and it does build on the legacy of what we've done, but it is so much more than that. It's entirely new hardware, reimagined for our users, both people deploying as well as end users. It's also looking at how we build it and what we specify when we decided to put in things like a secure element. It's the user experience for that person who wants to share or collaborate with someone else. And it's for the people who need to customize, maintain, and centralize their support of, an entire school district or a campus or several office buildings. And so we like to say that it's not just a next generation, but a whole new generation. We're seeing a lot of interest in the product in the retail space, for example. So with this newly reimagined portfolio, there are so many more places where ideas can be shared and connections can be made.